Hey guys, I've got an honest question for you. Are you exactly where you want to be? And if not, I've found three areas that may be quietly eroding your chances of achieving what you want. And I've got good news, I got bad news. This video may be the best opportunity you've seen all year, or a reminder that you're where you are because three decisions. As president of the Real Estate Investor Association since 2008 and coaching investors for over 15 years, I got to meet and work with hundreds of investors and see and learn amazing stuff. To learn how I could best help investors, I studied their membership and coaching applications, surveys, case studies, deal reviews, and masterminds, and more. And I use stats like their RIA meeting show rates, educational investments, number of deals, marketing, portfolio size, and profit for deals. And I noticed a pattern between two types of people that make it and people that don't make it. Here are the characteristics of the two types of investors: people that make it, achieve their goals, have fun and help others, make money, and take action without needing to be fully ready. People that don't make it can't find deals, don't invest in themselves, get burned and burned out, and show up but don't take action. And generally, each type of investor stays in their own lane and doesn't change course, and for reasons I'll get to in a little bit. So, as I carefully observed these two groups to determine the reasons that separated them, I found there are three decision areas. And after compiling and reviewing hundreds of investors for almost 2 decades, well, actually over 2 decades, I can confidently say this: your decision in the following three areas will determine your success or failure. Milestones and accountability don't work when self-imposed. This is the first area, a huge one that doesn't get a lot of talk. People just don't understand it. But let me ask you, could you hold yourself fully accountable? Yeah, occasionally. Not always, because it's our human nature to negotiate with ourselves when we miss our own goals. An unbiased third party, like a mentor, acts as a referee to remove that negotiation, turning vague intentions into milestones that get achieved. Self accountability is a promise you can easily break. External accountability is a contract you must honor. Number two, the second area, is showing up is only part of it. You need to take action once you show up. You can't just sit there like a spectator. And analysis paralysis is a big trap for investors. Paralyzed by the fear of being wrong, either on a deal or in an educational investment, or the illusion that they need more time to figure it out. More time. Not quite ready. People can say they aren't ready, but being ready isn't a state of being, it's a decision. Like literally, you'll never be ready. Like what is being ready? It's like this ambiguous thing anyways that's super hard to describe versus a decision. It's yes or no, you made a decision. So don't just show up at the starting line. You need to run the race. Don't worry about finishing the race yet. Show up, take action. Presence without participation is merely observational. And the third area, there's a price to pay to get good at real estate, but understanding how you pay that price will shape your future. And this is one of those areas that you either will succeed or you will fail, depending on how you answer this one right here. The wealthy and those with the wealth mindset use their money whenever possible to protect their most valuable asset, their time. Contrast that with the poor and those with the poor mindset. They always use their time, so they never have the time to build real wealth. For example, could you figure out how to invest with free information from the internet? Probably. Everything's out there nowadays. But at what cost of your time? Every day, every week, every month, letting deals slip by while you're scouring the internet, figuring it all out for yourself. Will you pay with your time or will you pay with your money? The best example I can give you of people that make it versus people that don't is a real world case study. You can see what happens when each investor responds to the three areas in determining their success or their failure. And we'll pick up this at a recent RIA meeting I spoke at. I was live teaching my ACT system. It's the assignment contract terms method, showing exactly how to leverage it to generate immediate cash flow without needing any of their own money or credit. I explained the terms, the strategy, and the lifestyle freedom that comes with this type of mastering this method. And then I just simply closed by saying, look, if you want my help implementing this, I've got 5 openings this month for a one-to-one coaching, sign up in the back. And then I just went back to the sales table to answer the questions, and a guy kept peppering me with questions. Rapid fire, how do you do this? How do you do that? What do you do if the guy says this and that and the other? And I get it. I was there. I was that guy. You know, I'm excited. It's all new. I'm excited about the opportunity. And I answered all his questions, but others simply couldn't even get a word in because he was just kind of hogging the space. No big deal. He took my coaching application and went out and filled it out. And as I answered other questions, I noticed another newcomer who was, the whole time I noticed he was writing stuff down, like he was writing a book. He came to the table and simply gave his application, his credit card, bought the coaching, and he left. And I don't even think he said a word the whole meeting. I didn't see him networking. He was just kind of shy, quiet, but again, attentive, soaking it all up, writing it all down. And, we call that a wallflower, basically, somebody who just quiet, shy, reserved. When everything was said and done, we were hanging out in the parking lot, like we usually do, the meeting after the meeting, and the first guy I mentioned, the rapid fire question guy, came over and started in with the questions again. And when he finally took a breather, I asked him if he got involved with my coaching program, and to my surprise, he said no. I thought he would have bought. He seemed super interested and like ready to dive in like a go-getter. And he said, I think I got what I need to get started and to get it going. And I said, hey, no problem. Good luck. I'm here if you ever need me. I didn't see or hear from him for 4 months. And I know it's 4 months because it was the RIA meeting again, and it was during the networking session called Say It in 60 Seconds, where you got 60 seconds to stand up, say who you are, what you do, what you're looking for. And he shows up to hand out his business cards. And he stands up and says, look, I work for so-and-so, and we're the best roofing company in town. Call me because I'm the lead head crew division manager or something like that. And basically, he's a roofer who manages other roofers. So he's the roof boss now. He didn't mention anything about real estate deals, but the networking session continues around the room. A few other investors get up, say who they are, what they're doing. But then the meeting goes from coincidence to downright spooky. The second guy I told you about, the quiet guy, the wallflower, he walks in. He comes straight up to me at the front of the place while I'm doing the networking session. And in front of everybody, he gives me a hug and quietly says, thanks, man. And so imagine, I'm the RIA head running a jam-packed show as MC. And this kind of awkward guy, looking just kind of, I don't want to say weird, but just, he pulls that off, and then he doesn't say anything to the other attendees, doesn't say anything. He just goes and sits down, and everybody's like, what? It's just this hush. Like, that's weird. Now, I knew what was going on because it turns out Wallflower was thanking me for literally transforming his life from 4 months earlier. 4 months earlier, when he had a job he hated, when he borrowed money to pay for my coaching program, and when his car broke down again, which is why he had to split right after the meeting, because his girlfriend was actually picking him up. He didn't have time to hang around and network. But over the next 4 months, I taught him multifunctional investing. And that emotional hug was him celebrating the Millionaire Fairly Fast milestone we set during our very first blueprint call. During that blueprint call together, we mapped out how much he needed to make monthly. We decided on his niche to start with and how to market it. And what he needed to do step by step every day, every week. And then exactly what each milestone looked like, and the accountability to make sure everything happened, and my one-to-one coaching for when problems and questions came up. When, not if. Wallflower reached all three millionaire fairly fast milestones in 4 months, just like we planned. 3 ACT method deals closed, requiring zero out-of-pocket money, and netting him $50K for all 3, a total of $50K. He purchased 3 single-family rentals, all bought with zero down using alternative acquisition options, and 2 fix and flip retails that were under construction paid with private money. So this was a big day for Wallflower. Of course, people asked him about the hug, and word got out about reaching his goals, and he gained a lot of respect from the peers, the other members, which helped him land even more deals and build his network. So after the RIA meeting, I watched Wallflower and his girlfriend leave, and they left in his newer car, quietly on his way to becoming a millionaire next door. And I gotta say, it doesn't get much cooler than that. And from an underdog, I love underdogs anyways, but awesome. And we're hanging around, a bunch of us as usual, in the parking lot, and Roof Boss walks by, and I'm like, hey man, doing any real estate deals? And he goes, nah, there's just no good deals around. So how does Wallflower get to his milestones, going from 0 deals to 8 in 4 months, banking him just over $50K plus the $50K in equity? You know, I've seen this same scenario play out time and time again at all the RIAs, with all of the dealings of investors across the country where I invest. And I've come to believe there is a cost you have to pay for the freedom to create the wealth and live the lifestyle. The people who make it pay that price. Now, there's a price to pay to become a great investor. The question is, how will you pay? Will you pay with your time or your money? In Wallflower's case, he used his money to buy my experience and system, just like an entrepreneur would buy a franchise, turnkey. And the result was $100K cash equity in 4 months. Doesn't always happen that easy, that fast. Sometimes even more so. But the Roof Boss used his own time. Never even got off the ground. Look, spending your own time reinventing the wheel, sleeping under your desk, running on fumes and caffeine may have worked 20 years ago, which I don't even think it worked then, but not in today's information age. Not when you can borrow my real estate franchise to launch your efforts faster, further. Now, I can't snap my finger to give you the results in the blink of an eye, but I can give you a proven framework and strategy, accountability to make sure it all happens, and coaching for questions and directions. And I've helped a lot of people achieve millionaire fairly fast, just like Wallflower. Maybe it's a fit for you. If you're still watching this, you've already showed up. Now's the time to take action. Right now, I have 2 ways for you to take action. First is, if you're interested in that no money, no bank assignment method, the way Wallflower got his 3 assignment deals that netted him over $50K, I recorded a case study where I collected a $25,000 check for a deal I didn't buy, for a property I didn't sell, and 0 out of pocket. I didn't pay anything for it. And this is just, by the way, for free. In financial terms, infinite rate of return gets bandied around a lot. You can actually ask AI about this, and it'll give you the equation. But if your cash investment is truly 0, the rate of return is mathematically infinite. I had 0 out of pocket, so based purely on a cash investment, my rate of return truly was infinite. Most people say, infinite rate of return. Hey, just do the math, you'll see. So anyways, this recording that I was mentioning, this whole video takes place with me and my assistant going to meet the buyer to collect the check. My assistant couldn't get her mind around the ACT method concept. She was like, how does this even happen? And is this even legal? And I went through step by step how it works. Probably was 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back. I don't know. There's probably some editing. I don't know how long it is, but I answered every one of her questions until it clicked for her. There was a light bulb moment where she was finally like, oh, like she was thinking it was really super hard and all this stuff. And yeah, there's some paperwork. Definitely, you need the right papers to do this. But look, she did it. Fast forward 6 months, she ended up getting into real estate full time. Primarily doing just focusing on the ACT method, actually. So I ended up losing her as an assistant, but I gained a friend in the profession. She stuck around till we found someone. She actually onboarded the new assistant. It all worked out great. And it's just another success story on how anyone can make a lot of money in a short period of time if you have a system and a coach. And I hear her tell her story. I heard it at RIA just recently, and it's inspiring. She says, well, you know the guy who owns RIA and House Buyer. Well, I was his personal assistant, and he explained exactly how this all worked, and I was hooked. And she was. I'll pop a link below if you're interested. You can get that exact explainer video that launched her real estate career flipping paper, collecting checks for $5K, $10K, $20K for deals that you don't need any money for, you don't need a bank for, because you don't and won't own them or buy them. So that's how the ACT method works. And if you want to literally have me hold your hand and plug it into your business alongside with my other systems, I'm opening up the doors today to welcome in 5 people to my one-to-one coaching for investors or entrepreneurs that want to leverage my experience and systems, build a robust, predictable business, so you can hit those 50K and beyond months, which is pretty reasonable for a small size real estate business. So book a fit call. If I think it's going to be useful for you after we talk, then we can go on and talk about how your goals might align with my program and then take it from there. Absolutely zero pressure, just 2 humans comparing notes. And remember 3 things separate investors who make it from those who don't. Showing up is only part of it. Like you've shown up here, now you need to take action. I would encourage you, because you've already seen the 2 investors who both showed up. One took action and got the rewards. The same holds true right now. There is the you who wants to wait until you're ready, that elusive, when I'm ready, versus the you who wants to take action, and they're both battling for control. Being ready isn't a state of being, it's a decision. Your decision will determine if you make it or you don't. So don't be a spectator from the sidelines. The market does not reward those who are ready, it rewards those who are willing to move. And mark my words, I've read hundreds of biographies and autobiographies. The most successful people, they're not ready, they just do it. And they fail fast, they fail forward, they learn from their failures, and failure is just feedback. So you've got nothing to lose. A fit call is just to see if we're a good fit, in alignment. If not, we'll know it. We can part as friends, and maybe I can give you some helpful tips and pointers to get you along the way. If it's a fit, we'll get clear on your goals and niche, your time available, and schedule a time to do your blueprint call and create your own millionaire fairly fast milestones. So I'll pop a link to the fit call below. Talk soon.